All right, we are now streaming live on YouTube. This is the preliminary hearing, State of Georgia versus Jamarcus Alexander Pope, charged in warrant number 2024 CW 50152, arson in the first degree. Representing the state is Attorney Freeman, representing the defendant, Attorney Javard Rogers. Your witness, Attorney Freeman.
Thank you, Your Honor. Investigator Robbins, would you raise your right hand, please? Investigator Robbins, would you raise your right hand, please?
You see me?
I don't know. Are you frozen? I don't see you raising your right hand.
Yeah, I have wrote. Hold on a second. Technical difficulties. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Hey, how do you get this thing right? I'm frozen.
Okay, there you are. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Are you somewhere where you can be still instead of walking for me?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Do you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm that the testimony about to provide in the matter of State of Georgia versus Jamarcus Pope will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. You can lower your hand. Please tell us your name and how you're employed.
Name is Anthony Robbins. Work for Clayton County Sheriff's Office, Criminal Investigation Division. Investigator.
How long have you worked with the Clayton County Sheriff's Office?
A little under a year.
Investigator Robbins, were you working in any other law enforcement capacity prior to joining the Sheriff's Office?
Could you repeat that again, ma'am?
Did you work with any other law enforcement agency before you joined the Clayton County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, I did.
And please tell us where that was.
I worked with Marta Police Department for 2 years. And prior to that, I worked in Florida.
Okay, I think you froze a little bit. If you could repeat that for us.
I worked with Marta Police Department for 2 years. And prior to that, I worked in Florida for 10 years.
Okay. Sir, were you working with the Clayton County Sheriff's Office on January 11th of 24?
Yes.
And on that particular day, were you called to investigate a case involving or that occurred in the Clayton County Jail regarding Mr. Pope?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is it that Defendant Pope was alleged to have done?
According to my report, Mr. Pope was identified as one of the individuals that was a part of arson.
Where did this incident take place?
At the Clayton County Jail.
Do you recall specifically where, if it was at a housing unit or where it took place?
I think it was in Housing Unit 3.
Is that the housing unit that Mr. Pope resides?
No, my bad. It says Housing Unit. My note says Housing Unit 8.
Housing Unit 8, okay. And is that housing unit where Mr. Pope resides?
According to my records, yes, ma'am.
Or he resided at that time in Housing Unit 8?
Correct.
Judge, I'm gonna object there. Since witnesses testifying from an aide, I would just ask that he testify from his memory.
Yes, you can't read, deputy, okay? Or investigator.
Yes, if you need to refresh your recollection with your report or anything, just let us know and you'll be able to get time to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how was it brought to your attention that Mr. Pope was involved in this incident?
It was identified through the jail staff.
Was there, as you took out a warrant for arson, was there a fire that occurred?
Yes, ma'am. It was fired out that it occurred.
Could you give us a description of that? Was it something that was big or was it contained? If you could give us a description.
Well, it was a minor fire that took place in the housing unit, but it was inside the cell.
What type of damage was done?
Just damage to the walls.
Were you able to talk to any witnesses or review any video surveillance in this case?
Well, review video surveillance, but the video it happened in the room, so it's kind of obscured a little bit.
Were you able to see Mr. Pope at all in this video?
Again, Mr. Pope was identified. We saw Mr. Pope through the camera, but he was positively identified by the jail staff.
Were you able to see the fire in the video?
You could just see the reflection of the fire.
Were you able to talk to any witnesses who saw what happened?
Excuse me?
Were you able to talk to any witnesses who saw what happened?
No, ma'am. Case still, I still have it still pending on the investigation as well.
Was there anyone else involved in this incident?
Yes, it was, ma'am.
And that was another inmate?
That's correct.
Did he make any statements about what happened?
Not according to my notes.
Did Mr. Pope make any statements about what happened?
I don't believe, based on my notation, that I interviewed Mr. Pope.
Investigator Robbins, did you take any photos of the damage to the wall?
Yes, we did.
And have those photos been placed into evidence?
Yes, it is.
When you say that there was damage on the walls, how many walls are we talking about?
Not just one single wall.
Can you describe to us the type of damage that was caused?
Just burn mark.
Burn marks?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if that's been repaired?
I have no idea, ma'am.
Was this inside of one of the cells?
Yes, inside the cell.
Was this inside of the cell of Mr. Pope?
Yes, ma'am.
From your investigation, were you able to determine how the fire started?
No, ma'am. Still up on the investigation.
When jail staff realized that there was a fire, can you tell us what happened after that?
Well, we got the call after the fact. Email came up stating that there was a fire. Let's report to our division. We went in, asked questions, reviewed video. Like I stated earlier, it shows the flames in the cell. A lot of individuals in the jail we don't really know, so we depend on the staff at the jail to actually identify these individuals, and Mr. Pope was identified.
Do you know if the cell was searched to see if there was any kind of accelerant that was used?
I have no idea, ma'am. I didn't search the cell.
Do you know if Mr. Pope was searched to see if he had any kind of accelerant on him?
Unfortunately, I can't say that he was. I don't know.
Investigator Robbins, so at this point, you don't know what was used to start the fire?
So based on my notes that I have right now, ma'am, no.
Did this happen in Clayton County?
Yes, it did.
Thank you. No further questions.
No problem.
All right. Attorney Rogers?
Thank you. Investigator, are you the lead on this case?
Yes, I am.
And the video that we've been talking about, have you seen that video?
Yes, I did review the video.
And if I understood correctly on the testimony, I believe you said the video was that it happened in a room, so the view was obscured. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so, well, let me ask you this, I guess. Do you know what time the fire is supposed to have started?
I don't have that notes in front of me, sir.
And let me ask, you said earlier, you said that you were under the impression that it happened in the defendant's cell. Where did you get that information from?
I got the information based on the jail staff that was present at the time.
Do you recall who told you that, as far as what officer or whatever?
At present time, no. Like I stated earlier, case is still open, pending further investigation as well.
In the video that we're talking about, do you have it available to play right now?
No, I don't have that okay right now.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you said that you did not know how the fire started. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so when the fire, I guess, comes to the attention of the jail staff, does anybody go over to the room?
Yes, there's individuals from the jail staff that go to the room to check it. Detention officers, correctional officers, they go to the room to check it. Usually report is generated by the jail staff sergeant, who sends it over to our department.
And so let me ask this then, I guess, when you say that the view is obscured on the video, does that mean that you can't actually see what's happening in the cell, just flames or brightness or something like that?
That's absolutely correct, sir.
So let me ask, can you even determine who was actually in the cell at that time from the video?
It was like I stated earlier, it was identified that Mr. Pope was one of the suspects inside of the cell. From the angle from the video's kind of grainy a little bit, if that's a better word to use. And he was identified again by the jail staff.
Was there any sort of investigation of like the electrical systems or anything in the jail or in that room or in that area?
I'm still investigating that right now as we speak, sir.
And so when jail staff goes to the room, they don't recover any sort of accelerant or fire starting equipment or anything?
I can't say if they recovered or not. They have not turned it over to me. So at the present moment, I don't have it in my possession, so I can't say that they did or did not.
Thank you. No further questions.
No problem.
All right. Any redirect, Attorney Freeman?
No, Your Honor, the state rests.
All right, in closing argument, Attorney Freeman?
A state waives opening.
All right, Attorney Rogers.
Thank you. Judge, I'm asking for a dismissal here, actually for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I guess I'll kind of start with the procedural issue, and that the warrant names the suspected individual as Jamarcus Alexander Pope. The jail, I believe they said that they had a Jamarcus Andre Pope. There was never an actual identification that the person on the video is indeed the person that was intended to be charged, number one. Number two,
I'm sorry.
even setting aside.
So Attorney Rogers, before you carry on, so is there a Jamarcus Audra Pope? Is there a such person?
That's a hard one for me to answer, other than to say that the jail, what it shows when I look on their inmate search screen, it has a Jamarcus Andre Pope list. There is no Jamarcus Alexander Pope listed as being in the jail on the inmate screen that I have access to.
Okay, all right, continue. I'm sorry about that.
Additionally, what I was going to say is just that even setting aside that aspect of the issue, there's no basis to say that the fire was even arson, number one, that it was even started by anyone, as opposed to some sort of electrical mishap or anything like that. There's been no accelerant determined. There's been no explanation as to how the fire was started or what it was started with. There's no such items that have been recovered or located, as far as I've heard, either at the jail or inside of the jail. Within reason. But once you step outside the jail and you bring it to a court of law, there needs to be some sort of evidence to base it on. And I haven't heard any of that, Your Honor. So I would ask that the charge be dismissed for lack of probable cause. Thank you.
Okay, and it looked like that it's the same person. Because when I looked under DeMarcus, Audra Pope, it is still, first arson in the first degree. So,
Yes.
okay.
Thank you, Judge. And I was going to bring that up also. I pulled them up. And so this appears to be the correct person, but we're asking that the charge of arson in the first degree be bound over to Superior Court. We heard the testimony from Investigator Robbins. Even though the video wasn't that clear, you could still see the reflection of the flames. And that was the fire that was caused in the cell of Mr. Pope, as well as another individual. Even though they haven't been able to determine the accelerant or what was used, it still doesn't negate the fact that an arson was committed. And based on this testimony, we are asking that this one charge be bound over to Superior Court.
Thank you. All right, so based upon the evidence presented, I do not find that there is sufficient probable cause to bind this case over, and I am going to go ahead and dismiss that arson charge.
Thank you,
All right,
Judge.
thank you, Judge.
Order of the court.
Thank you. Investigator Robbins, you're excused. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Is that all we have today?
It is, Judge.
All right, well, I'll see y'all on Wednesday.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right.